Hello and welcome everyone to the League Tier Championships E-Finals between alibby1152 and DaniMunich. It's the final, so we go. The format is first to 3 5 points wins, and Libby as the highest seed goes first in game one. I am here joined by breppert. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
And we have the first kingdom. What is
And
palace?
looks like
Oh,
there's no shortage of things to do, really. Palace might be one of the things that maybe isn't terribly important here.
yeah, that's true. So this kingdom has villages, it has thrashing, at least, but where's cavalry horses is the only draw, right? Oh, and the guard dog is draw. Okay, so that's not too bad. I think I'd open Spice Merchant and something, but not sure what the something is for me.
Yeah, I think probably be tempted to scrounge out. If you could scrounge out something bad, would be my temptation. When you don't really want a 3, getting rid of a bad card is always a nice option.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. So both players agree on the Spice Merchant. They both
The
have a
count is
silver.
interesting to
Okay,
me.
why do you want to count?
I think you need a good reason to want a count, and that reason needs to be like a big lack of trashing and a lack of ability to get around that elsewhere. But we see both of these players have it now.
Yeah,
Um, and count can be still, I think, a reasonable card, even though it doesn't always work out.
yeah. I think I would have skipped count and just waited for an expand here.
Yeah, I think the argument for count, I think long term, is that you do want one because you can gain duchies with it and then expand your duchies into provinces, and that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
That seems like the best way to end the game here to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might think, well, might as well go ahead and get it and maybe get a nice big trash off early, and it's a little bit of payload. I think it's pretty defensible, really. Now that I think about it.
Okay. Yeah, that totally makes sense to me. I think I'm just not really good at games with count. If I mostly only use it if it's the only thrashing option. Okay, I agree on the expand. You really want an expand. Top deck silver,
Yeah,
trash hand. Yeah,
there's just
yeah,
not a lot else that you can do that grows your deck much faster here, right? Then you sort of always want to look for that as far as what are you trying to do ultimately, right? And so yeah, even though expand I think is something I don't typically think of as being very strong payload, I agree. You certainly want to play with it here.
yeah.
Uh,
And I think I would
Cavalry looks
like
nice.
to add cavalries at some point because I want the horses for additional draw. Yeah, I like the cavalry.
Yeah, it seemed like a good time for Alibby to take it.
Yeah, definitely.
There are no shortage of good cards here, really, even though the payload is not terribly convincing.
Yeah. Do you want to play with the Royal Galley here?
Yeah, I would say so. I don't think it's very important because you have other ways to be consistent, right? You can be trashed down. You have wandering minstrels,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a nice card that gives you a lot of terminal space. So
Yeah.
I could see adding them in.
And what is your main draw? Is it guard dog or horses?
I'd say probably cavalry horses is probably going to be ending up what you do your main draw with a little bit of guard dog help. Uh, you just sort of take what's convenient when you need it at the time. Would be my guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. It depends on what you have
Wouldn't
as pale. If you only have 3 money, guard dog is a good option. If you have 4, cavalry is great, especially if you have an action left and can draw and see what you can do with your turn.
yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing uh, a trash here from Danny. You've got 3 pretty bad cards in hand, really, that you could get rid of.
Yeah, yeah. I think you really want to get fairly thin early. Oh, cavalry.
Yeah, I think the math there just has to be 3 bad cards out of the deck is way more valuable than gaining a royal galley.
Yeah,
Would be my opinion there.
yeah. I agree on that. Oh, and Libby is already drawing deck, which is really nice. Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, in pretty good shape, and then finding the wandering menstrual spice merchant on top is convenient.
Yeah, nice.
You can expand the necropolis into a nice 4 cost here.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
It'll be choosing to not keep the turn going. Yeah, I think it's fine if you don't want more cavalry, which I can see that.
I think for now another cavalry would be a bit over terminal, so I can see what Libby did.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of terminals in Alibi's deck. There's 3 in this hand right here.
Yeah, so adding a royal galley and a minstrel was a good choice for me. Do you just expand something here as Danny?
Um,
Probably the spice merchant because it runs out of value soon. I'm not quite
yeah, I
sure
think
about
your
that.
options are either expanding your necropolis into the cavalry, or or maybe you just call your turn and expand into play cavalry.
No,
I don't know.
yeah, it's not clear to me either what you do here.
Certainly an awkward hand.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that you want to think a bit of what you want to do here. I think I probably just expand the spice merchant into something, but I'm not sure what this something should be at this point. I'm not sure you want to trigger this shuffle if you expand into a cavalry, but I don't know what's in the discard at all. Do you know what's in the discard for Danny?
I do not. Just, I think it's decent. I mean, I think there's menstrual in there, and
Mm-hmm.
you can put
And a
horses into
galley,
there.
a minstrel galley is for sure in the discard, but I don't know about the other things. How many coppers are in the trash? 11. So 3 coppers still in the decks. I think Alibi has 2 coppers still. Trash is a cavalry into a cavalry. Okay.
Danny's having a little trouble getting the payload lining up
Yeah,
to improve the deck quickly. Too many hitting twos, and two's not a good number here.
no, it's not really. You don't really want a guardian, and you
No,
sure don't
Guardian
want to
is
estates.
Guardian's like significantly worse than Copper here.
Yeah, copper at least is something for spice merchant you can use.
I guess you can expand Guardian into a nicer thing than Copper,
Yeah,
to
that's
be
true.
fair, but
That's true.
only once you line it all up.
We trash the silver, okay. Okay, we find a count. You probably could gain a copper because you have the spice merchant and you don't have much money left. That's
I guess I see taking the draw, given how the last turn went, and you can always add payload mid turn when you have something like expanding your deck.
hmm okay. Nice. Uh, a pity that you can't expand and you. Oh, and if you could. No, you can't get a cavalry. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to get a cavalry because you don't have actions left, so. Ah, gondola is nice, yeah. I always forget about this additional function of gondola that you can play an action card from your hand on buy.
Yeah,
But that
it
was
is. It is a
nice.
decent on gain effect, especially when you have a remodel thing
Yeah,
to
but sometimes
turn gondola
it's
into
just
something better.
nice. Danny really
And
needs
gondola being
payload,
duration
right?
can help it. Sorry, say that again.
Danny really needs a payload.
Yeah, has the ability to add some and draw it, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
A guard dog could easily draw lots and lots of cards here.
Yeah, that's nice to activate here. Trash the cavalry again. Okay. I'm not so sure about all these cavalry trashes, but I really want a cavalry in my deck because I want horses.
Yeah, it's a nice way to generate a lot of nice cards here.
Yeah.
Also, decent expand targets to turn them into golds and get all those palace points.
Yeah, but Palace is a combination of copper, silver, gold, right? But it could be additional scoring if you need it.
Right. You don't really have much ability to gain to gain a whole bunch of stuff here. You have like scrounge for extra gains, and right once the cavalries are out, you can counts gain copper here. You could sort of get some extra coppers at the end
Yeah,
for some points. There's some stuff.
but the only true buy is Spice Merchant and Cavalry on gain, so that's a little bit limited. But yeah, you can do something. Count can gain, scrounge can gain. Okay, nice.
And we do see everyone doing exactly that.
Yeah, nice turn again for Libby. That's a lot of money.
Is let's see, go for the additional expand over just province. I'm not certain about that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I think it's always fine to build in
this
situations
this
like that,
game
really, but I
this
can see
game
province.
won't end soon, so I think you can still build a little bit instead of clogging your deck with the green cards. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what is really faster here. But yeah, I
Yeah, I
do
mean,
like
both
the
players
second
have
expand.
expand. You do, yeah, you do kind of want to be able to match expand power more so than probably be a few points ahead.
Yeah. Why does Olivia have 3 points? Does Olivia have palace points?
Certainly, certainly not three estates.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes. Yeah, that must be copper, silver, gold then.
Right. So and I said you have scrounge for gains here. That's of course incorrect.
Oh
There
yeah,
are
you
no
don't have
estates in the
estates.
trash.
Yeah, I I forgot about that too. I saw it at the start of the game and thought, oh, so it's sad scrounge because you don't have estates, but then I forgot again.
Yeah, it's still sad.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, count could discard something and then you could draw a bunch with guard dog if you want to. But you can expand something before, so you probably draw it. There is no cavalry left for Dani, right? So the only draw is guard dog now. Interesting.
Which is, yeah, plenty.
Third
Uh,
expand, okay, interesting.
Galley's a little bit awkward there, not really letting you gain and play like you would want to here.
Second count. I
Uh,
really don't understand this game plan so far, but we'll find out, I guess.
I think I think we're going to see count gain duchy, expand duchy province heavily from
Okay,
Danny without golds at all.
okay. Yeah, that makes some sense.
And I think there's a decent argument for that,
Yeah,
especially given the position with the relative lack of draw.
yeah. But you always could add draw. That's not the problem. But you don't have one right now. Libby
Yeah,
really
all things
uses the
considered,
yeah. Libby
but you'd
really.
rather it have draw.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry that I talked in between. Libby really
Sorry, yeah.
uses the guard dog activation here. That's nice. With expand and count, it's really tricky because you don't want to fall much behind on VP here because it's always easy to get multiple provinces a turn if you draw.
Yeah, like tripling for Danny, or at least taking three provinces out of the pile, right, is very trivial. So you need to be keeping the pace on points here, certainly into this end game.
Yeah, I think so. Thought we'd see Galleon horse a few times, but it's being used on other stuff. Yeah, I was wondering the same. why you don't want to galley a horse. Yeah, it doesn't
It
work in
doesn't
the
work
second
with the
turn, but
errata, right?
yeah, it's the returned. The question for me here in Dani's deck is how many counts do you keep, or do you? Okay, is this just okay? We expand the count now. Okay, this could be another province. You could. Wouldn't you want to get a get a duchy with the count before you draw up here, just to expand it again into province?
I guess there's maybe an argument for you can just gain the duchy. I hit the end. It doesn't really matter if you're doing it next turn or this turn. But I did not reason out if that was optimal or not.
Okay. Okay, we add another cavalry now. Gain a duchy, I believe.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I would say you want to keep the second counts and from that deck certainly.
Yeah. You really want to gain duchies, so you have to keep that count. So is Libby able to compete this multiple provinces a turn? Libby has 2 expands, right? So Libby could gain, I think, only 2 provinces a turn. Or
Yeah, I don't think. Well, I think 3 could happen if the alibi milled.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's not enough to have enough points in the end, I believe. You you can probably
no,
also gain a third one with if you hit your money and count, so you hit 8, so you can buy another one, but it's just enough for
but
Dani right
also
now to mill all the provinces. So
I don't know that
no,
Danny
yeah,
can
yeah, no
take
points.
5. That seems like a stretch to me.
What seems like a stretch to you?
That Danny could take 5 provinces, I guess.
Yeah,
Well, even 4 seems like probably too many.
but a 3 is sure doable. For I don't believe in 5, and I also think 4 is a little bit hard. Yeah, Dani has 3 expands here, and that's correct. Oh, this is always so tricky to me because you can just mill your provinces into something, so you have to always keep in mind that you have to be ahead on points and not just leave enough provinces in the deck that your opponent can't get them all. Always tricky end games.
Yeah, yeah. You just sort of have to try to reason it out more so than any other part of the game. I think step by step. If I do this, they do that. That's why the end games tend to be thinky.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you can't win, it's really tricky to take any provinces, right? Because it just makes it easier for your opponent to mill and pile. Okay, you're ahead now. And now you don't
I
want
think
to mill a province
Danny
at this
is
point.
Yeah, definitely burning down the deck quickly here.
Yeah. I think I'd rather gain a duchy with the expand and not expand the count with the count and not expand the count into a province here.
Right, it's just as many points, and then you have a count after, right? And you don't lower provinces.
And you sure can't expand a province into province here because
No,
two should be
no,
quite
not with
easy to get for a
Royal
Libby.
Galley, Wandering Minstrel down for a Libby.
Yeah. But what do you do then here as Danny in this case? Just end the turn?
Undo, maybe.
Yeah, I like that. I don't think expanding the count into a province is a good move here. This is really not a good spot. Okay, interesting line. We'll see if Libby can get the last three provinces.
I would, I would guess that we see it happen.
Yeah,
We will see.
I'm pretty sure Libby will try. Okay, you could mill two and just buy one if you dis. Okay, you would decide to discard. Okay, then Libby is going to draw up with guard dog again. Okay, okay, and now this is not enough. We didn't redraw the.
Yeah, I don't know how long Alibi thought about trying to go for the win there. It seemed
Or
like
he.
it was never in hand, but chose to not try to sort of draw more cards before discarding those provinces.
Silver to duchy, okay. To just even the points at least.
Alibi would not have
Oof.
needed to uh, trash the count with expand. They could have trashed two provinces and just found a way to hit A with playing the count.
Yeah, I
Um,
was thinking that too. So I think Alibi had a copper and a silver left, but the no more gold. So with count, it's just 6 money, right?
right, so it may have just never been possible.
Yeah, I think so. So can Dani get three provinces this turn? Is the question now. You could mill two and just buy another one. Fresh horse to gold.
Mm,
Does that help?
probably. Yeah, I mean, it helps you activate your guard dog
Yeah,
more
that's
so
true.
than anything else.
Yeah, that's true. I just was wondering if you really need the gold. It doesn't give you palace points, so but it's a good target to expand.
Both players sort of ran out of
Yeah,
payload a little bit
Danny
early.
has 0 money in his deck, so there is no palace points option for Danny, I believe.
And he is more attached to horses than dogs, I guess is the lesson here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do understand the line playing without money in this deck because you have expand, you have count, so there are a lot of options to do something. And if the buy situation wasn't this odd, you could really get palace points in addition, but that's really tricky in this kingdom.
Yeah, you have to angle for the palace points from a ways out here.
What are these last two cards?
There's I don't even know.
I'm
Are
not
they
sure that.
green? I feel like they might be green.
Yeah. So two duchies and three provinces for Dani. Is that correct? I think so, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Trashing the guard dog really is a bit confusing to me.
Yeah, I think that maybe the thought was that you would need the actions from the horse, but uh, that's not the case for the deck.
Hmm.
So you have to carefully consider lowering him. I think you just try to keep taking points. I don't know what
Yeah, you
else
have to
what
do
else you
that.
really try to do. Just keep expanding to stay ahead and sort of trust that a Libby can't double, which looks pretty likely.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think you just have to get every point you can get here. I mean, and even taking the duchies for your next turn with all these expands is just nice because you can just expand them into provinces. Then you just have to um keep an VP lead so that Alibi can't catch up.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
that was another expand there. Yeah, okay, province and expand. Hmm. I'm not sure what to do in this situation. This is really tricky.
Yeah, it's tough. You're relatively low on options. I think you just try to lower like this, and then take your horses. And maybe don't play this other expand, and see what happens next turn.
Yeah, probably that's okay. We undo here.
Maybe doesn't want to lower to 2. With a good hand, 2 is very doable for a Libby.
Yeah,
This may not be a good hand, but of course
you have to be
we have more
afraid of it
information
at
about that.
least as Danny. As- you have to know you really know that Alibi probably can double and then you lose the game, so you can't lower like this. Is a reasonable thinking for me.
Yeah, so it goes with all the duchies path, like ZW Lemon suggested, which
Yeah,
seems quite reasonable to me.
yeah. Counter province, okay. Yeah, I think you have to go for the provinces as Alibi because you can't gain any duchies and you really don't want to gain a state, so you just have to hope that it works out.
I don't know
Oh,
that
this
I'd
is
want to
game.
live in this kingdom after it's done.
Yeah,
These ruinous, trashed kingdoms that are just all victory cards with no engine. Autonomy's dead.
yeah. So
But
this is the first game for Dani, and now
yeah,
they're in
Danny,
first player. So that's a good start for them. Okay, game two.
yeah, ended up angling that very well, I think.
Yeah, what does Fated do is it's putting on top or bottom. Okay. We have Thrashing in Crucible.
2-5 looks sweet here to me. I guess the 4-3 is fine, but Lackey's Trickster seems like let's get going. Sounds great.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Crucible is
Even
only
Courtyard
Thrashing is
Trickster would beat
really,
me. But you definitely want Crucibles, certainly.
yeah. Crucible definitely better than Miser.
I think the 2-4 is not. It's not much worse than 2-5, really.
Yeah,
It might not even
probably.
be worse. Like I'm not even sure that it is. Like, right? Like getting the trashing first is not all that much worse than the cursing, right? It might even be better.
What?
There is an
Okay.
argument for Courtyard over Lackeys. I don't think you do it because the villagers are just more valuable
Yeah.
than what Courtyard gives you. But
I really wonder about the tragic hero instead of a trickster there.
yeah, it gets you a gold. But I
Yeah, but do
think
you really
certainly
need
you
that
pick up
gold
Crucible
here?
here.
Yeah, sure,
Mm,
Crucible.
probably not. I mean, I certainly would have opened Trickster,
Yeah.
but the Tragic Hero does cycle your deck a little bit, and it does let you have a better turn earlier.
Yeah, probably. Apothecary is an interesting thought.
But I just
But it
want,
draws you a
I
bunch
think
here.
the Apothecary could draw you some, but I think that I would just want like all the lackeys and some stonemasons and like crucibles, and then the game's just going to be over, and it's not going to matter that your deck doesn't work anymore because the game's going to be over.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree about having to be a little careful with the lackeys. You do not have to be careful at all. The only
The
thing you have to be
villages are
careful about is
nice.
gaining too few of them.
Okay. Both decided to go tragic hero over trickster. Interesting.
Yeah, I would think that since you have the lackeys draw, that's what would make me go more trickster, or maybe you just skip. But the first trashing here is
Uh,
fairly awkward, right? You'd rather be
yeah,
doing other things with Crucible.
yeah. That that would be my reason to definitely play trickster here because the trashing is so weak. And it's so sad to trash curses with Crucible because you don't get any benefit from that. And it's just slow, so
Right. You have to draw 2 cards just to do nothing with them. Yeah.
yeah.
Bummer. And that's like a whole villager too when you factor in the lackeys, or 2 villagers even. So I was tongue in cheek about Aaron. Be careful about lackeys, but you do have to be careful about running out of villagers here
Yeah,
before the
that's
game
true.
ends, certainly.
One thing I always forget is that you don't get any benefit if you trash lackeys. I somehow always think I have to get a villager from it, but it doesn't. I don't know why I think about this. Olivia takes a lot of villages.
So now Danny has to decide, do you take these last two lackeys here with 6 to have significant villagers? If not, well, I
I
don't
think
know.
you have to, right?
There's
I
a
think
lot
you
to
really
consider.
need them.
That is the
Okay.
decision, yeah.
But the piles could run fairly quickly here with the tragic heroes, and Lek is already empty.
It's true, although um, yeah, I guess if they keep going for the tragic heroes, that could end. Although I think they're going to run out of actions,
Yeah, that's true.
and that's going to be a problem.
Okay, we burn all the villages here. Hmm.
Yeah, there's
What?
not that many more actions left for 8 more provinces.
I have a little bit trouble to understand you right now because it's coming like very as if the connection isn't that
Uh,
good. I'm not sure if it's only on my part or if the
is this any
other.
better?
Yeah, this is better now. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Miser. Interesting idea. I'm a little
It's
bit
time to rush
concerned
Miser along.
about only having 3 villages left for Dani here. Oh, we get a province already.
I'm
Interesting.
like heavily concerned about that. I'm concerned about Alibi with 8.
Yeah, 8 is a lot. But if you just have to burn them all to draw something, it's another tragic hero. Okay. I mean, if you have multiple tragic heroes and the piles are already very low, it's fairly easy to pile with the stonemasons and additional buys. But you have to be in a points lead also, so I don't think fairgrounds is a thing here, right?
No, I don't think so. It's to even get to
The last villager here. What do you do when you run out of villages here?
unfortunately, there aren't really options.
Yeah,
Pivoted to apothecary. The late potion, always a sneaky move.
yeah, yeah. I like Crucible the lackeys here.
Yeah, at least the stonemason, you might be able to turn that gold into a couple duchies.
Yeah, that's true. But that's probably a little bit too early to do that.
Yeah, at this point, certainly.
I'm
But
really surprised they
just thinking
they
that,
they skip Trickster.
yeah, I think Trickster gets a little bit a little bit more hate than it deserves. It's a pretty decent cursor.
Yeah, especially here when you have no villages, and the only trashing is Crucible. That's really not that great.
Yeah, it can certainly get outclassed by good trashing, but that's not what we're seeing here with especially because it's not just how strong is the trashing card, right? It's how easy is it to draw the trashing card
Yeah,
and the thing that you want to trash, and not that
yeah.
easy here.
Okay, let me trash both stonemasons. Province and Crucible, okay. Oh, that's even not a
Yeah,
province. Yeah.
is not good as cursors go, but it's a cursor.
Yeah, I do like cursing here in this kingdom. Not sure if I like this. Can I maybe get a province and pile? Or a province and something and pile? Okay, Libby running out of villages now too.
Well, at least doesn't have to bother with any action cards in the next hand.
That's true. That's another
Although also does not have
province.
the ability to province, which I'm sure would be preferred.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
Libby can.
oh, Crucible trashing Crucible. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, but I think it's the right move to catch up the points.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to find your tragic hero here, I believe.
I think
Or you,
so. Yeah.
I mean, you can't draw on this turn, but it's nice to have it in your next hand for sure. Oh, you did draw. I didn't see that it was in between the shuffle. Okay. Hmm. Province estate, is that enough, or do you go double duchy?
You probably, yeah. I'm not sure. Um,
I
I think
think
it's a
it's
really
the
close
question
call.
if you believe that Olivia finds a tragic hero and can do province duchy.
I mean, looking at Alibi's hand, it looks sketchy to go province estate.
Yeah, but Danny doesn't know that, so I think it's really the do you believe Alibi can do province duchy or not? I think to go safe, it's really the double duchy is correct.
Especially Rush Trickster was suggested that, yeah, that would be a clever way to put extra money in the next hand and score some points. I think
Mm-hmm.
Fairgrounds is only 2 at this point.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely more than two.
And yeah, it's in hand here.
With Crucible, province, and gold.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't use Rush at all in this kingdom, right? In this game.
No, I think Trickster is really the only card that plays nice with it. I guess Giant would be, but it's good, so that issue.
I have troubles again to understand you. I don't know if it's only me. It's like an unstable connection.
Yeah, it might be. Let me try move to a better place.
Okay. Yeah, okay, they have seen it, that it's enough, exactly 16 to end the game. So that's 2-0 to Dani. And game 3 with the Alibi first player again. Okay, game 3. We have launch and ferry. We have stockpiles. We have a lot of draw with Marquis, but we also have militia. Ooh, that's an interesting kingdom. What does Order of Masons do? When shuffling, you may pick up to cards per favor you spend to put in your discard pile. Okay, that's great. Ooh, Alibi has a
Yeah,
2-5.
practice cards as long as you stay responsible and have favors.
What
Prince
do you...
Marquis.
Yeah, Prince Marquis is... Prince Militia is great. I did that once in a game with my friend, and they were not amused.
Oh, yeah,
I
it's you,
do
you want a prince, a
understand,
militia, and a marquis, right? Like, sounds great.
but you can't Prince Marquis, right? There's... Oh, if you ferry... Ooh, that is neat. That works, right? If you put ferry on
It
on
does. Yeah,
Marquis, then you can Prince the Marquis. It
yeah.
took a while to realize that. That's very nice. Not sure if the 2-5 is good here as a starting here. I think you want... Oh, Silvermine can gain stockpiles. Yeah, that's also great.
I think the two
Ah,
five tends to be just like strictly worse than the 3-4 when you have
yeah,
fairy in the kingdom.
yeah, I think so. Very awkward start for Libby.
Silvermine at least gains you good cards here, which
Yeah,
is nice.
yeah. I do agree on the opening from Dani with the stockpile militia. And yeah, Libby should gain a stockpile themselves. That's great. Oh, Libby has already 3 stockpiles, which is nice. And neither has ferried so far. The question is, when is a good time to ferry, and do you really want to ferry Marquis?
Um, yeah, it's a little bit tough to say. Um, it's hard to line stuff up here. It's hard to, if you go the prince route, which is the only way to build, you're sort of just buying prince and hoping. And that's not always a great strategy. So I do not know really what you want to do here. But I think like right, playing marquee seems like a decent thing to do, even if you're not able to prince it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I know that you could first ferry the prince to make it cheaper and then turn it onto Marquis, but that seems a little bit awkward to me.
It's certainly hopeful.
The double ferry, first double prince, ferry prince, and then change it to Marquis. Do you mean?
Well, to ferry, yeah. I mean, even just a ferry marquee and then buy Prince and Prince the marquee, like it. It can. I can see it, but I can see it not working out too.
Yeah,
Launch here is pretty nice, right? I think the launch makes like the marquee early on more important.
I'm so
So you
bad
can
with
always.
launch. I just have no idea how to play that correctly.
It's like a villa that doesn't give you a villa that you can only use. Is I guess sort of how you want to think of it.
That's a lot of stockpiles for Libby.
Yeah, at some point, your deck is just all stockpiles, and then you're gonna be out of stuff to do after you play those stockpiles.
I think Libby has 6 stockpiles. Oh, Silver Mine can gain you the silvers and then you go for Feodum. That's probably really a thing here. So the question is, what do you think? How quick will the piles run here? Okay, you province, interesting. I didn't expect province, to be honest.
I guess the plan is to run it down. You can always, I guess, with the Silvermine gain fade, although the getting like the dismantle that you need in order to make that work is not easy at all to get done. So,
We have a prince.
uh,
Okay. Libby goes for the prince and has the ferry on Marquis. It would be cool to see if a Libby princing a Marquis here in this game.
yeah, you can play a little bit here, right?
Yeah.
If you get it set up, and you have
Yeah.
launch to help you get it set up.
So you could launch here, right? So and hopefully draw your prince. Okay, no, we don't. Do you keep the stockpiles? Yeah. Okay, we do see the Feoda line. Libby really is trying hard to find Marquis Prince. Oh, no Marquis in this hand. That was the oh sad. Okay. This is a 3-0 for Dani. And the first player.
It's a pretty good position.
Yeah, for sure.
It's as good as it gets, really.
This kingdom is interesting. You have Sea Witch. The only trashing is Dismantle. There is Fleet, but there is the only plus buy is Forum on Gain. Wow. I think it's
Yeah, it's
just Sea Witch
with money.
money. Yeah.
Well, there's like courier stuff too that you can do a little bit of. There's a little bit of forum. You can do like courier forum. There's a little bit of play.
The first 5 sure is the Sea Witch here, right?
Yeah, surely. And the second one, and probably the third one, probably the
Yeah.
fourth one too. It's maybe exaggerating, but at least two, I think.
Yeah. I think at least 3 for me.
I wouldn't know though because I don't play with Sea Witch.
Second sea witch. Yeah, I wondered why alibby is thrashing a copper instead of getting a sea witch there. I don't think the additional copper matters so much if you have sea witches, which is already good sifting.
Yeah, my impression of the reason I have Sea Witch Bandits is my impression of it is that you see Sea Witch in a kingdom, and especially in a kingdom like this, and you just like click on Sea Witch, and then you hope to have the better Sea Witch clicks.
Yeah,
Um, and so that lines up with the criticisms that I'm seeing given here at the moment.
yeah. Third sea witch for Daniel, only one for alibby. Okay, second for alibby. Gain another sea witch, I believe. You don't gain another sea witch. Interesting.
Yeah, I think with the almost 20 card deck here, the third Sea Witch would make sense.
I think so, yes. So this is already looking good for Dani.
Yeah, being ahead on curses to this degree is
Yeah,
good shape. Certainly want to play a Sea Witch here, right? Before you
it definitely,
shuffle.
definitely.
Goes for the
Oh,
forum instead.
interesting. That's an interesting choice.
And then more forum. Wow, a lot of ambition
Wow,
from Dani here.
for sure.
I think Alibi takes platinum here. I'm going to guess
Yeah,
yes. No.
a sea witch then? Okay, no.
I
Okay.
mean, two forums and a peddler's is, I can see it.
Yeah,
Certainly.
so you hopefully find your sea witch more consistently. I do not really
You,
understand the artificer here, but I'm also very bad with artificer in general.
I mean, unless you find your other Sea Witch, you're going to really have preferred that the Artificer was a Sea Witch. But you found the other Sea Witch, so
Nice.
what do I know?
Platinum now? Or do we see forum again?
I could see two more forums and another peddler once you're already down that path,
We get a platinum now. Okay.
Alibi decides to live a life of balance, and you can never hate that.
Yeah. I thought you probably trash the estate to gain another gold in your deck instead of trashing the curse there.
I think getting the curse out of the deck is pretty valuable relative to if you trash the estate, you end up with two more stop cards as opposed to
Yeah.
if you trash the curse.
I mean, I certainly like trashing curses, but I feel like Alibi is already behind here, and I think a little bit more money could probably help, but I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, well, I always think in situations like that, it's like, well, oh, apologies. In situations like that, it's always useful to get more money by like not having a curse that doesn't give you any money.
Yeah, makes also sense. I mean, at least Libby has a chance to get rid of the curses because of the dismantle, which Dani hasn't, but not sure if that matters too much.
Yeah, there's ultimately a lot of game left here, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, Foreign's Peddler's curses could run pretty soon. Okay, nice for the Foreign. Nice turn for a Libby.
Certainly see some amount of forum here.
Yeah. And then just gain a colony. I mean, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Vineyard should end up with decent points. It's a shame that it's not worth it's not worth it.
Yeah, I really like Vineyard games in general, but this is an awkward one. You just can't ignore Sea Witch here, so there's no village, no buy.
Yeah, and you're going to struggle to get 30 action cards to make Vineyards worth it here.
Yeah, I think it's the colony line here in this game that matters.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, neither has fleet so far. That's also a thing you should consider if you only hit 5.
Yeah, you want fleet more than quite a few things here
Yeah,
as you get towards the end. Probably not province, but things worse than that.
yeah,
And
I
depending on where
definitely,
you're shuffling, fleet might be better than province.
I think so. I definitely would go for fleet here. If I can't hit colony, I would go for fleet.
But yeah, well, I think to Heron's point, province is about as good as you can do on your fleet turn anyway. So, um, yeah, there's some cost to putting the province in your deck, but you've got this huge deck all full of bad cards anyway, so it's not a huge cost.
Yeah, that's true. Dani has only the coppers, and does Dani have 1 silver? Or is it only coppers in deck and the other payload is from Korea and paddlers? Oh, only
Yeah, I
10 here.
haven't cracked, but I think you're right about that.
So it's not that easy to hit colony every turn with no money in your deck. I mean, at
No, I mean
least no money.
this was a really good turn, really. Like, look at all these action cards in play, and this is 10,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah. That so I think you have to add some money if you really want to consistently hit something like colony. And I think you need colonies here.
yeah, I agree.
Farms are not enough to line that up. I don't think that's enough to consistently hit province colony here.
Yeah, I think Platinum's the best card
Yeah,
here.
definitely.
After turn like 7, maybe.
Yeah, and
See,
Libby
see
has,
which has to be better for a while, but
yeah, not adding any payload is really not going well for Dani here, and it's a nice turn for Libby. Yeah, I agree on Colony there. Just keep the points lead. And fleet, that's oh, Dani has fleet, okay. If Dani doesn't hit consistently courier and can play another courier, they are not able to hit Colony. So not that easy to line that up.
yeah, it's tough to make couriers work every turn all game.
Yeah,
It can happen. I've seen it happen. I've sat in the other chair and watched it happen. It's plenty, but it's hard to make it happen.
you you just can't count on that in any case. I mean, it can line up, but it's really tough to make that work. So it's not
Certainly,
what you can count on to win this game.
I've also watched it fall apart. Certainly too. It's fair as it can do. But yeah,
Okay, that's
with the forums and the couriers, it doesn't take too much to make it work here. So I mean, we are seeing some decent turns. I do agree though that if you could end these shuffles with a platinum play, right, that would Danny's deck would benefit from that.
yeah, that at least I have a gold now, so that's at least something. But yeah, a platinum would be very nice. Oh,
I
Olivia
think
has
you
no
just
sewage
correlated
in play,
gold.
so that's not a great turn for Olivia coming in. Yeah, just courier the gold does make sense because you just yeah, then you hit colony. Not a great turn for Olivia, unfortunately.
But Alibi looks decently set up going into the following turn.
Yeah, yeah. These are just decks that uh, from time to time, I believe.
Yeah, it's really hard to avoid doing that here.
Yeah, at least this is uh, drew a paddler
This looks
that
like a fleet
fleet, I believe.
opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the game has gotten very close all of a sudden.
Yeah, it has. Oh, when did I completely missed the province here?
Yeah, Danny hit exactly 8. I
Yeah,
think a couple turns ago, if I remember correctly.
I completely missed that they bought a province there. But yeah,
Just
it did make
just
the
last turn.
game. It did make the game close. Colony again. No,
And now
Olivia's in
Alibi's in
trouble.
an awkward spot, and
Yeah,
the game and the match.
no, sad turn for Olivia. You have to gain a duchy. Yeah, unfortunately, you have to do that.
Well, I think
Okay, you can
Danny
put
has
Forum in the shuffle now to play with Courier. That's nice.
can
I mean,
yeah.
I meant in the discard, not in the shuffle.
Danny has tried to build things in some of these sort of boards where it's a little bit difficult to build things where you're consistently playing lots of actions, and that is commendable. And it takes
Mhm.
having some good shuffles sometimes
Yeah,
to make it work when you make that decision.
yeah. But it worked out pretty well for Danny. The last couple of turns, the shuffles were really nice. I mean, sure, forums help a lot in Korea, but it's still not that easy to have these great turns here. And this is colony again. Unfortunately, it's not looking good for Libby again. Yeah, Danny has a lot of forums. I think they are really nice, but they also always had the money to do forum and something. That was great.
You have to ask. Libby had a point here where it was two more forums or a platinum, and Libby went platinum instead of two more forums, and
Yeah,
maybe that
that's
would have
true.
been a point to stay more consistent.
Yeah, that dismantle the platinum. So I think that was correct there.
But yes, two provinces.
Province at gold and border province. Yeah, so two provinces. That was definitely. Oh, this is not enough. Okay, that opens the door for Libby.
Seven's not great. Do you buy potion?
Potion or duchy?
It's probably duchy, but my heart wants to say that there's some argument for potion.
No, I think it's too late for potion. Unfortunately, only a duchy for Libby again. There was no question that you discard the curses, right?
Yeah, I don't think you're planning on getting rid
Yeah,
of them,
this is okay. A livery
and
sent.
don't need to.
Okay, this is 4-0 for Dani, and they claimed the title for EGMs this year. Thanks for doing commentary with me. I hope I didn't mess up the recording.
Me as well. Thank you for doing commentary with me.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in and listening in, and see you all later. Bye.
Bye.